It's Rick without the K. James presents In My Opinion Podcast.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.
We're going to get into some serious shit, and then we're going to bounce around in this podcast. But I was thinking about it, right? Because I was what better? I got two black comics on. You guys can weigh in.
For the first time in history of your podcast.
No, motherfucker. I've had Jerry Law.
Thank you, Rick.
And so stop it, motherfucker. Jeez, I don't even know why the fuck I'm trying to defend myself. Fuck
Jerry
you,
Law.
all right?
From,
Jesus Christ.
Jerry Law ain't African American. Jerry Law is from Kenya.
Well, I hope he runs better than he plays basketball because I whooped his ass.
I heard. You know you got your ass whipped when a Latino
with a nine-fingered Latino. Okay, goddamn it.
You know you got your ass whipped when a Latino texts another nigga saying he beat another nigga at basketball. He texts me.
If y'all go tomorrow, call me. Though. I got a cold jump shot, man. I sure wanted to go with y'all this weekend.
But I grew up in a different area, you guys, and we're gonna talk a lot about race in the podcast because I got a couple questions, but we're gonna start with the big one just because I feel like everybody's energy is all right. When is it appropriate for someone who isn't black to use the N-word, or is it never appropriate? I'm gonna shoot it over to Jay first because.
Okay, so I mean, all right.
Is it ever appropriate, or
Now,
you should take that word out of your vocabulary?
All right, as of right now, at this time in 2021, I say take it out the vocabulary, right? But beforehand, like when you say a person that's not black, usually when people say that, they automatically think white. But I grew up around a lot of Cambodians. And I grew up around some Mexicans and everything, and we all grew up together, and the Cambodians was saying nigga right along with us.
So you grew up like in 35th?
No, in West Oakland, But the thing is, the cool part about it is like we never flinched at it or even second guessed it. Like I got a partner named Pecte and Cosell. The motherfuckers say nigga and fight you in the middle of the street like they grew up around black. So around us, I've never flinched on it. Now I talked to him about the same scenario.
Uh-huh.
And he says he doesn't do it around other blacks that he didn't grow up with, though.
Okay.
So as of right now, I would say, as far as another race, no, take it all the way out. As far as when it was coming up, I wasn't really tripping when it came to my my other friends that was of different race. Now the whites, automatic like a no. But like the black, but the Cambodian.
You know why people are gonna watch this and be like, "Fuck."
No, but the Cambodians.
I thought he was gonna at least say during rap music, right?
But the Tonguians, I mean, people of color, I give more of a pass than the purebred American good old boy.
Now I asked this. Let me add a few things because I saw your stance got a little more serious with this question.
Yeah, he mad at my answer. I don't give a fuck if you grew up with him or not.
I'm paying attention to the cues. Okay, goddamn. So let me sit back a little bit. But I asked that because where I grew up, like we have one of the comics that's on tonight's show or last night's show. We grew up in the same spot in El Paso, and I tell people I grew up around black people more so. I don't speak Spanish. I don't have that culture about me. So when I talk about culture, all I know is black culture is growing up, right? Mm-hmm. So I fought more fucking Mexicans growing up in high school than I did because it was always, oh, you're trying to act black or you're trying to do this. And, it'd be, you're a disgrace to my race. And I'd be like, fuck that, you're a disgrace to my face. Fuck it, let's throw them shit. So, but I grew up around black gangs too. So for us growing up in that realm, it was, I wouldn't say it was okay, but it was just like, okay, well, it was kind of like what you're saying, like, well, we all grew up together, so it was cool. But I know now that I get older, I'm like, I tried to take the word out of my vocabulary, and because I know my kids hear me growing up, and it's not where I tell my kids, I'm like, I'm not prejudiced or racist unless we're talking about everybody. Like, I can find something wrong with every fucking ethnicity, you know what I mean? So I'll call it as I see them. And mostly, more so, I've said this several times on my podcast, is normally most of the hate that I've ever gotten was from Latin people. But it's because I don't speak the language, I believe. So I think that's a big portion. So with that said, like I said, I saw you get a little more defensive.
Now you
So
be careful now over there, man.
But I also know that you're what, 40, 50?
I'm 49.
49, almost 50. So, and the only reason I bring that up though is because I remember when I was younger, it was like anybody my shade or darker was okay, and now it's like just a little more normal. I got to tell my kids, I'm like, look, man, because I have a kid that looks like me, and then I got a kid that looks like his mom, and their mother's Caucasian. So I tell my oldest, who looks like his mom, I'm like, son, you don't even, because they don't even know that you're Mexican. Like, I told motherfuckers that's how we were going to get the first Mexican in the White House. Like, we were going to fool them crackers, and then we're going to break out our sombreros and shit. So, but I just feel like, because everything, like, you don't know what gender you are now, and everybody thinks it's okay.
Right.
So, what's your mindset as a 49-year-old man? Like, just,
my mindset on that is, I grew up in a kind of like a household where it was like, you don't let nobody call you no nigga. I don't give a damn if they black. You know what I'm saying? If they black or whatever, it's out of respect. Now, if it's like me and Jay Rich talk, nigga, that's a private conversation between him and I. Now, I wouldn't do that to Jay Rich if we was amongst a lot of people. I would call Jay Rich my brother, or I'll say King. You know, I have fixed myself to say King a lot now when I'm talking to a lot of brothers now. But being a comedian, I do use the word, but I don't want nobody else using it. You know, especially no white person. If I'm at a show and you use that word, it's gonna be some of them sonic rings flying, because I don't want you to get comfortable thinking that you can use that word around me or even when I'm not there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've heard some chatter about certain comics doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what you mean?
Like some white comics using the N word.
Oh, like Jeremy Curry? Like Jeremy fucking Curry?
We're gonna have to cut that out.
He's gonna be. I said it here and there.
So I don't let. I checked. I was in the store with my mom and this little young dude. He was Latino little young dude getting out of school. He was in the store. Nigga this, nigga that. And I turned around and said, hey man, that shit ain't cool. Don't be. I said, first of all, my mom right here. I said, first of all, what makes you think that I want to hear that shit? You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, all my black friends don't. I said, I don't give a fuck what your black friends think about it. And he was like, well, I'm finna go to my car. I said, well, I'm finna follow you to that motherfucker. You ain't gonna get to it. You know what I'm saying? But and so when he went to the car, I guess his older brother was in there. And I was explaining to his older brother, and his older brother was like, listen to the guy. He right. You know what I'm saying? That's offensive to him. You know what I'm saying? Even though we use it, it's very offensive. So the older brother understood, and he checked the young brother to let him know, man, when you see other black people, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Don't use that word.
It's just like my boy, like he tried to explain to you, like, oh no, man, my friends don't trip. Them your friends, and like my boy, my Cambodian partner, he told me himself. He's like, man, he don't really use it too much no more, but he really don't use it around nobody he didn't grow up with.
Let me tell you what I hate the most, though. I hate the most when I see a black comic in front of a entirely white white audience, and all he say is nigga, nigga, nigga. I cringe, the crowd don't know if they should laugh or not. They kind of feel offensive that they don't know if they're gonna laugh. I was told by the great comedian Linnell, you know, when you doing them kind of crowds, it's all right to use the word nigga if it goes with the joke, if it's a setup, if it's for the joke. But other than that, if you just like, and the nigga did this, and the nigga did that,
nigga before and after every sentence and shit.
That's not cool because you look stupid. You know what I'm saying?
I use a nigga as a comma.
But Charlie Murphy, my main man, Rick James. That's the one you think, the comedian Rick James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying, I can't breathe.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.